I'm going to do another video today, a very simple video about, well, Chris and I were talking, just finished talking about, tools you need to do art. Now, he's doing digital collage and I'm doing analog. Analog is, the material world, and he's doing digital, which is the tech world. And a lot of ways there's a lot of similarities, in a lot of ways there's a lot of differences. Anyways, backtracking a little bit. We were talking about circles essentially, and I said, well, I, I, when you have to do circles in analog, I mean, it's hard because cutting it with anything, a perfect circle, I mean, it's easy to draw a circle or use a compass or a spirograph kind of thing, or a lid of something and make a circle and then cut around it. You can kind of do it, but it's tedious. And he says, oh, that with digital, you just snap it and it becomes a circle. That's kind of cheating, but that's okay. Anyways, I was thinking about circles, and from a design perspective, circles for me are really important. Now, I showed this briefly, I think, in an earlier video. Over last night in the morning or early morning, I woke up thinking about this picture. And I love the design of it, but I wasn't liking it was just too gray. I mean, it's supposed to be spring. I'm calling it now spring equinox after I did the circles in it. So I decided to give her a polka dot dress and have the polka dots float off and put more color in the flowers. And I really like it now. I think it's cool. It is crafty, though. It is kind of crafty. And where's the difference between art and craft? Well, that's a whole other conversation, I guess. Anyways, what I want to get to is just the tools. There's scissors, there's glue. You could use gel medium for glue. There's all kinds of scissors that you can use. There's all kinds of straight edges you can use to cut. There's rulers you can use to cut. There's a lot of different things you can use for different reasons. But one of them that is not necessary to do collage but really helps it along are circle punches. And here's another page of my collages, and the circle punches are just so much fun to work with, and you always have a circle ready to go. It's a quick punch, and they're not expensive to buy. You can find them anywhere on Amazon. So in this page, I just want to show you what I used. This circle was one of these. I think these is 1.5 inches. You can get them all different sizes, and so it's a big circle punch. What you do is you take a piece of paper. I just was working on some stuff earlier, like something like this. You can put it in here and not know what you're doing, but it's better. They have this thing we can view what's going to be cut. So you slip it in here and you see just exactly where you want to cut it. And then if you see if that's where you want to cut it, you can see where it's going to be cut. And then you just punch it. Punch it. That's all you got to do is punch it. Usually. There you go. And then it comes out and you have a perfect circle. It's not coming out for some reason. But there's a perfect little circle you can use in your art. And it's really perfect. Except now it's not perfect. But I mean, you get the idea. I wasn't holding it right. But like there's a perfect circle. Now isn't that a perfect little moon that we can use? So these are great. And they come in all different sizes. So I use this one for my moons. And then I use this one. I was using this one for little ones. And they have the same design. You open up the bottom and you can see what you're actually punching. Like you can just put this in there. I think this one's a little sharper for some reason. You just go in and pops out. And there you have a little circle. So rather than deal with, cutting around it and, using a bottle cap or something, you can just use these, and they're not that expensive. Of course, the punches come in all different. They come in like frogs and all these other things. You can buy hearts and all that stuff. But I think circles for art is really good. Now, I also have used in my recent, which I started showing you earlier, is I used this little punch, this little guy here, which we're all familiar with. You know, these little punches that people used to use this to mark. You know, if you bought something and you had one of those special cards, you'd say purchased or something. Use these, and I use this for all the little circles. Now, so these are the three that I have, all very different sizes, and you could use them together, which I haven't done it yet, but eventually I think I'll be using a lot more circles, especially if you're doing some abstract work. It might be really nice. So there's really no measuring. You can also cut half circles, like this one that didn't turn out that well. Let's try to do a half circle or some kind of moon phase of some kind. Let's turn it up like this. Go over. Yeah, for some reason this one isn't as sharp. I've had this one for a very long time. You can have different designs as well. Like that's a nice oval. Now the thing is, when I did this morning, I got all my circles. I also had half circles, so I did the circles and I cut them in half. Then I was laying them out, and I laid them all out, and then I said, oh my God, I gotta now take them all off and put them back on. And then I went and got some tweezers because I figured I have to lift each one and then put it back down, lift each one, put it back down. But just as if you're working with small pieces like this, I'll tell you what I did. I got my medium out, my gel medium, and my little brush, and I just wet my finger, and I dotted each one, and I had the underside. I put a dab of glue and just put it right back. When I glued this, after I set it all up, it took no time at all. So that's a little side if you want to glue small pieces down, and rather than deal with tweezers, or just wet your finger, pick it up, do it, and then put it back down. So, I don't know, that may be helpful for some people. Who knows? So, when you're thinking of extra supplies for your collages, don't forget the circle supplies. Have a great day.